Chapter 107. Lu Jiwei never thought that she would be able to come face to face with Lao Wu. They were people from two different parts of space. One sitting in his control room, one living in another world. It was always that far apart. But today, she saw him, the living, unharmed Wu Junsheng. Wu Junsheng turned back to look at her. The Lu Jiwei now was very different from when they first met. She was much more cheerful than before, much happier, much more blissful. She was finally not lonely anymore. Happiness showed in his eyes as he finally sighed a sigh of relief. As long as Lu Jiwei was living well, then what he did and the pain he suffered was worth it. It has been a while, he laughed. Good daughter. Being apart for so long, they both had experienced their own hardships. Now that they were able to stand in front of each other, alive and well, the sourness prickled her heart and reddened her eyes. Lu Jiwei wanted to both cry and laugh. That is great, Lao Wu, it is great that you are all right. She had really been afraid that something would happen to him in the system, afraid he could not be rescued, afraid he would really exchange a life for a life. She wanted to live, she also wanted everybody else to live. Seeing the tears swirling around her eyes, Wu Junsheng suddenly felt moved. After being an administrator for so long and seeing so many hosts and worlds, they had always minded their own business. He had never thought that there would be a day when a host would shed tears over his well-being. Because of Lu Jiwei, he finally realized he still had some humanity in him. He walked forward and leaned down slightly, opening his arms to lightly and carefully hug Lu Jiwei, like a friend but also like an elder who doted on her. He patted her head gently. Do not cry, I am okay, I am fine. Lu Jiwei was trying her best to hold back her tears, but hearing that, her restraint immediately failed. Hearing her sobs, Wu Junsheng did not know what to do. Damn it, he had never comforted someone who was crying because of him. He had not made anyone cry before. He panicked, clumsily comforting her. Ah, be good, do not cry, it is okay, I am really fine. Lu Jiwei did not speak. Wu Junsheng looked at Bai Ji and then said, think about it, with Bai Ji around, how could anything happen to me, right? Did not I tell you she was very impressive? All right, don't cry. Hearing that Lu Jiwei finally could not help but chuckle. Wu Junsheng. Indeed, in his heart, there was nothing Bai Ji couldn't do. Lu Jiwei patted him and wiped away her tears. I will not cry, it's good that you're fine, it's good that you've left the system. Then she snuck a glance at Bai Ji and said softly, and congratulations on meeting her again. Seeing her smile, Wu Junsheng finally relaxed and nodded in agreement. Bai Ji looked at him silently as her lips unconsciously lifted. Sit, I will get some water for you too. Lu Jiwei turned and walked towards the kitchen. Sang Wansi walked to her side, lifting a hand to help her wipe away her tears, sweet and habitual. Wu Junsheng saw their actions. He felt like he really was Lu Jiwei's mother now. As long as his daughter was dating, he couldn't help but worry if the other person was treating his daughter well or not, and how well. Obviously, Sang Wansi had long since passed this test. Their love was pure and genuine, with no space for another person. But he was even more relieved that Sang Wansi did not forget Lu Jiwei and their love could continue. Wu Junsheng looked at the person beside him. Thank you, Bai Ji. Bai Ji turned to look at him, confused. Thanks for what? Wu Junsheng replied, thank you for protecting Sang Wansi and letting her remember everything, remember that she likes Jiwei, and for letting them live well. Bai Ji raised her eyebrows and smiled, it is the right thing to do. Their past conflict had been left behind. Since Wu Junsheng had already betrayed the system, they were no longer on opposite sides. At this moment, they were friends and teammates. Destroying the system was their common goal. Then Bai Ji whispered to him. Did she touch your wound just now? Is it okay? It is okay, it's almost fully recovered anyway. Almost fully recovered. Bai Ji reached out a hand towards his chest, accurately hitting it. Wu Junsheng immediately scrunched up his face in pain, begging for mercy. Do not try to fool me, I am the one who changes your bandages. If your wound hurts, you have to be honest and tell me. All right, I will definitely strictly follow Captain Bai's orders. He did not feel that Bai Ji's hit was really that painful, but Bai Ji's words of concern were able to make his heart feel sweet. Being able to meet her again, being able to be taken care of by her. How nice! Liu Jiwei and Sang Wansi sneakily observed the pair. Liu Jiwei felt more and more like there was something going on between the two of them. But as to whether there really was or not, Bai Ji would be the one to decide that. They should just continue watching as bystanders. 2 cups of warm water were placed lightly on the table. Liu Jiwei and Sang Wansi sat on the other sofa. It was the first time seeing their system administrators for the both of them. But the 2 administrators were quite compatible. Thinking about what Bai Ji had said earlier, Liu Jiwei immediately asked Wu Junsheng, Lao Wu, your wounds still aren't fully healed yet. Wu Junsheng smiled and admitted it honestly. Liu Jiwei's face immediately showed her worry. Bai Ji said calmly and reliably, do not worry, he is recovering. He will be fine after a while more, don't worry. There is always me. These words were not just said to Liu Jiwei, but to everybody present. No matter how hard the road ahead was, do not be afraid, there's always her. She would do her best to protect them and let them enjoy a normal life as she destroys every despicable system. Sitting there and listening to it, Liu Jiwei suddenly knew why Wu Junsheng trusted Bai Ji so much. She had a strong bearing and confidence. Just standing there, it was like nobody would be scared of the apocalypse. It was also because of this charm that Sang Wansi agreed to work with her. Anything a reliable person said or did would be able to make others believe in them. Liu Jiwei looked at Wu Junsheng curiously, Lao Wu, how did you save me? Why wasn't my memory erased? Wu Junsheng smiled lightly, because I secretly used the main computer's authority to change the program's judgment so you would not be determined to be a virus. Then I was worried it would not be enough, so I added another layer of protection around you so that your memories would not be affected and you would just follow the world to the starting point. He pushed his spectacles up. Actually, I had not officially tried the protection layer before. I did not have any guarantee when I suddenly put it on you, but aside from that, I had no other choice. I could only take a gamble. Luckily, my gamble paid off. This definitely must have been God taking pity on them. Liu Jiwei suddenly had an epiphany. No wonder she heard him still typing away before she left. She still thought he was writing a report to explain things to the main computer. Thank you, Lao Wu. Liu Jiwei was extremely grateful. I should be the one thanking you, Lao Wu said. You were the one who let me see beyond the protagonist's life, you were the one who made me understand the pain of the transparent people, and you were the one who taught me right from wrong and rebellion. Jiwei, I am very lucky to have met you, and I am very happy I managed to protect your freedom. You protected the right of others to freedom, I protected your right to freedom. This is the ultimate meaning of me doing all those things. Besides, he continued, it was also a bit of my own selfishness that you did not lose your memory. I hope you remembered the pain that dying brought, so you would live well in the future and not end your own life no matter what, not going through this kind of pain. Live on, live on in this normal world. Do the things you like to do, love the people you want to love, let the world see the shining you. Our teacher Lu is someone who is destined to walk on the flower road. Lu Jiwei could not help laughing at that. When they had met for the first time, he had said something similar. But hearing it again, here and now, the meaning was different. This time, it was truly a new life. Okay, Lu Jiwei promised him solemnly, I will live well. Through the good times and the bad, she would anticipate and welcome every new day with the person she loved. Seeing her like this, Wu Junsheng had no regrets. He had come over with Bai Ji today to let them know he was safe, and see how they were doing. Since the two of them were living well, they naturally did not have anything else to worry about. Now that this world was under the protection of the Space and Time Administration and evil people would not be able to invade it, the world was already peaceful. Bai Ji wasn't in a rush to bring him back after he was done talking to Lu Jiwei. She was planning to bring him to stroll around and get some fresh air and look at the scenery. It would help to lighten his mood and it would be good for his physical recovery too. Besides, the Space and Time Administration had already built a connection in this world, they could go back anytime they wanted. Wu Junsheng did not have any objections. He could not do anything now, and he had not seen Bai Ji in so long, it was nice to spend more time with her. They could talk about what had happened over the years and get to know each other's history, and he could relax, not thinking about anything as he slowly enjoyed the carefree moments. They prepared to take the elevator down. Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi stood at the door to see them off. Before leaving, Bai Ji suddenly paused, turning to look at Sang Wansi. This was the child that she had watched grow up over the years. She walked towards Sang Wansi and hugged her lightly. Wansi, you've done well too, it's been hard on you. Her fight against Wu Junsheng had made Sang Wansi suffer the most. But Sang Wansi still gritted her teeth and endured the pain each time, never thinking of giving up. So in her heart, Sang Wansi was also a very impressive child that deserved the best in the world. She was a match made in heaven with Lu Jiwei. The world has returned to normal, you will not have headaches anymore. Bai Ji lightly patted Sang Wansi's back, her eyes gentle. From now on, you can do what you like without restraint. Everything in the future is worth anticipating, work hard. Sang Wansi blinked slowly, then hugged her back and said lightly, I will. We're going, we will come back and see you guys again when we have time. Okay. Bye. Bye. Lao Wu bade farewell to Lu Jiwei. Bye, Jiwei. Bye you must take care of your wounds, listen to the doctor, clean it when you need to and do not randomly eat things. Okay, I got it. Bye bye. The elevator doors closed. The two of them looked at the changing numbers as they laughed. It feels like we both raised a daughter. Wu Junsheng said. Bai Ji agreed. But no matter what, it was okay as long as everybody was living well. A normal world, a brand new life, everything was worth looking forward to. The next day, Lu Jiwei relied on her memory and brought Sang Wansi to Fang Xiaoying's house. It was a cool day with the sun shining brightly, it was perfect for an excursion. Lu Jiwei held Sang Wansi's hand as she walked to under a familiar tree. It was slightly different to when she met Fang Xiaoying here for the first time. This time, the tree leaves had not all fallen and the wind was blowing, making the dry yellow leaves rustle. It was the weekend, so there were no classes. Lu Jiwei was looking forward to seeing Fang Xiaoying again, looking forward to seeing her new life in a normal world. Sang Wansi held her hand, looking in the same direction with anticipation. After a while, a young lady skipped out while carrying a bag. It was an unfamiliar face. Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi watched as she beckoned behind her with a smile. "Hurry up, Meng Meng is waiting for us." "Wait for me." A whining voice came. In the next second, Fang Xiaoying appeared in Lu Jiwei's vision with a bag. It was different from the first time they met. Her face was filled with happiness and enthusiasm. The girl held Fang Xiaoying's hand. "Aya, I am waiting, let us go." Fang Xiaoying ran down the stairs with her, happily running past Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi. Their footsteps were quick, as if they were running towards the radiant sun. "Is that her?" Sang Wansi asked. Lu Jiwei replied. "It's her." She had made friends too. She finally no longer needed to suffer the pain of a transparent physique. In the future, those depressing posts about not having friends will no longer appear on her moments. Seeing this, Lu Jiwei finally uttered a sigh of complete relief. She turned to look at the person she loved beside her, 5 fingers threading through hers as their fingers interlocked. "Come on, let us go home." On the way back, they chatted as they walked leisurely. "Lu Jiwei, we will be entering the crew in another 2 days, I am looking forward to meeting Xiaoying. He probably will not like you this time, right?" Sang Wansi, he won tea. "Lu Jiwei, I do not know if he and Jiao Jiao will get together again or not." Sang Wansi held her hand tightly and said softly, "Do not worry, predestined love will have its own memory. Just like the goddess and the matriarch they had acted as. So what if one lost their memory? When I hear that you like me, my heart will still feel happy." So Sang Wansi believed that if Lu Shijiao and Ying Xize were destined to be together, then they would still be attracted to each other this time and they would fall for each other again, perhaps even earlier this time. She looked at Lu Jiwei and suddenly said seriously, "Jiwei, even if my memory got wiped, as long as you come to me and tell me you like me, my heart will definitely run towards you happily as well. Because the memories of me loving you, it will always be in my heart, it will only increase, not decrease." Compared to losing her memory then, she was more afraid that Lu Jiwei wouldn't dare to look for her, would not dare to say that she liked her. If that was the case, her heart would not even have the chance to skip a beat for her. Lu Jiwei looked at her moving eyes, and could not resist kissing her forehead. She knew, she understood. Because of her, she would not retreat anymore. She would not give her love up to anybody else. "I love you, I will love you forever. My Wansi, my heartbeat." In the sky, the sun was shining brightly. The wind caressed their ears, sending the sound of the world to them. They hugged, then walked back home side by side, filled with anticipation for the future. Phoenix was about to start filming, and the actors started entering the production crew. Following her memory, Lu Jiwei stood at the same place and waited for Ying Xize. This time, Sang Wansi was standing next to her and waiting as well. Soon, a familiar shadow appeared in their peripheral vision. Ying Xize was polite as ever, warmly greeting the production crew members until he got to them. He first greeted Sang Wansi, whom he had seen on the hot searches numerous times. This time, it was upfront and peaceful, without any extra feelings. Then it was Lu Jiwei's turn. "Hello, I am Ying Xize." "Hello, Lu Jiwei. I have not heard of you before." The exact same lines. Lu Jiwei smiled slightly, "I just entered the industry." Ying Xize understood, "Oh, that is how it is." I am 23 this year, how about you? Liu Jiwei, I am 26. Ying Xize, oh, you are older by 3 years. Then what role are you acting in? Liu Jiwei, palace maid. The female lead's clothes palace maid. According to the outrageous plotline from before, Ying Xize should now be shocked that she was a cross-dressing actor. But it was all normal now, Ying Xize naturally would not be that ridiculous. His eyes curved as he smiled at Liu Jiwei warmly and asked, I see. You are older than me, can I call you Sister Liu then? Of course. Liu Jiwei smiled back. After that, Ying Xize's white moonlight still did not choose him. Liu Jiwei started therapy again, helping him get over his sadness and relying on her charisma. She successfully became an irreplaceable big sister in his heart. Sang Wansi, on the other hand, became friends with him. Without the outrageous and messy love rival plotline, everything was much simpler. The two of them also directly revealed their relationship to Ying Xize. Ying Xize was struck by this honesty, but he quickly reacted to the fact that his friend had become his sister-in-law, and he congratulated them. Anyway, it did not matter to him whether a lover was a man or a woman, it was most important to be happy. It was most important for his big sister and friend to both be happy. In this life, Liu Jiwei had been honest early on with her sister about the fact that she was an actress. Liu Shijiao was supportive as always, opening an account to support her again. But this time, she was open about wanting to gather support. Liu Jiwei did not know whether to laugh or cry, leaving her to her own devices after warning her. Thus, when Phoenix finished filming, Liu Jiwei brought along Liu Shijiao when Ying Xize invited her out for a meal to let them get to know each other in advance. In the end, the two of them stood there staring at each other. It was odd. Clearly it was their first time meeting, but they felt like the other person was very familiar, as if they had known each other for a very long time. But when Ying Xize called Liu Jiwei big sister, the atmosphere was broken. Liu Shijiao immediately hugged Liu Jiwei's arm and said, "This is my sister, do not you have your own?" Ying Xize went and hugged Liu Jiwei's other arm, "I do, she is here." Liu Shijiao. Smelly man. They started bickering about snatching their sister again, and even made the remove your D qualifications, remove your May qualifications stickers. Liu Jiwei. Sang Wansi. They looked at each other speechlessly. Liu Jiwei finally understood. Her D and her May had the quarrelsome and loving couple script. But it was fine, as long as they truly liked each other. As long as everybody could be happy in the end. The 4th year after the world restarted. At the end of this year, the same-sex movie that they acted in, Shackles, was finally showing in cinemas. Before this, Sang Wansi had won last year's Best Actress award thanks to her role as questioning deity sect's Qiao Jing, and Liu Jiwei won this year's Best Actress award thanks to Symphony of Dreams. This time, Sang Wansi did not participate because Sheng Yu had long since been acquired by Xing Yi and Zhou Lingling did not have any chance to stir up trouble. There was another person who acted as the supporting female lead, and she played the role well, winning this year's Best Supporting Actress award. With 2 Best Actress award winners acting in the same-sex movie, a lot of people started anticipating the movie the day the teaser was released. When it officially started airing, the box office sales skyrocketed to the top, leaving behind the other movies on that weekend in the dust. Wei Shibulet and Wan SCP fans were all screaming "We are going crazy," and the Super Topic was having their own New Year celebration. At Aya, "It's going to end, sisters, begging you to go watch it, it's really super duper good. There's not a single person inside who's dragging the movie down with their acting skills. Wen Chuang's script is as strong as always. Thumbs up. Most importantly, she is actually become a little more humane this time. And if a youth can do it, so can I, once Sang cries. Westlake is immediately overflowing thanks to my tears. She really is so good at filming crying scenes, she looks so pretty and fragile. How can there be such a beautiful person on this earth? Lu is great too, she is really so freaking cute when she jingles the ankle bell. At mountains and rivers embracing you, director Guo is too impressive. I want to screenshot every scene to use it as my wallpaper. At Wei Shi Bulletin Wan is real. Sisters, I am going crazy. At Muddle-headed, only 2 words out of tens of thousands of words, they kissed. Thumbs up. At Oho, only 3 words out of tens of thousands of words, they did it agitated. For other CPS, it might even be a problem to be in the same frame. For Wei Shi Bulletin Wan SCP, so be it if they had a kiss scene, they even had a bed scene. Wei Shi Bulletin Wan SCP fans were thus called a rich family, they could have whatever they wanted. Swept away by the excitement, Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi both went to the movie theater to watch it too. After that, Lu Jiwei kept looking through the Wei Shi Bulletin Wan super topic and searching for related movie reviews on the web. Seeing everybody shipping them while also seriously analyzing the movie and affirming their hard work, the big stone in her heart finally landed on the floor lightly. Luckily, they did not let the audience down. Sang Wansi parked the car in the underground parking lot. Lu Jiwei sat in the front passenger seat, happily showing her the screen. Wansi, look, so many people are praising us. Sang Wansi took the phone and scrolled through. Everybody was praising them for their great acting skills and for their chemistry. CP fans were even more excitedly shouting it will be very hard to provide an answer if they do not get married. If this was before, she would not care about what CP fans were saying, it would just be fake. But now, she felt that their praise was very moving. That is right, Lu Jiwei and her were the most compatible couple in the whole world. Putting down the phone, she looked up to see someone with her eyes shining. She could not help but smile, leaning over to kiss her. This kiss was long and gentle, worth more than thousands of words. Once the kiss ended, they looked at each other, the light in their eyes rippling like the surface of water in autumn. Along this path, they supported each other, achieved things with each other and even experienced separation by death. Their love for each other had surpassed everything, nobody else could match up. But there was just a bit left missing. Jiwei. Sang Wansi said gently. Lu Jiwei answered warmly, eyes not leaving her. Then, she saw Sang Wansi pull out a small box from the pocket of her coat. A ring box? Lu Jiwei immediately covered her mouth in surprise, feeling both shocked and overjoyed. Sang Wansi calmly opened the box, showing the intricately designed ring inside. Looking at her with eyes as gentle as water, Jiwei, let us get married. At this moment, she did not have any romantic things to say. These simple words were the culmination of their love. She wanted to have an even longer love with Lu Jiwei, to become her lawfully wedded wife, to shoulder the responsibility of a family with her. Lu Jiwei looked into Sang Wansi's eyes. It was still showing only her reflection, and the gentleness and love that had only belonged to her for years. This was her universe, her everything. With Sang Wansi around, she had no other requests. With a blissful smile and tears, Lu Jiwei stretched out her hand. Okay, MRSLU. The engagement ring threaded onto a slender finger. They hugged each other tightly in the car, their lives fulfilled. In such a big world, it is really great to have been able to meet you. Chapter 108. The proposal was successful. This was the thing Sang Wansi was happiest about tonight, and it was Lu Jiwei's as well. Both of them happily went home hand in hand. After they got home, they excitedly took photos. Lu Jiwei sat by the bar countertop, spreading the fingers of her left hand while looking a little smug, showing off the engagement ring on her middle finger. Her white wrist still had their couple bracelet on it, it was clearly showing off the closeness of the two. "Does it look good?" she asked happily. Sang Wansi was sitting in front of her, looking down and admiring her work after taking the photo. She passed the phone to Lu Jiwei. "Looks good, my Jiwei has always been good looking." Lu Jiwei's eyes showed her happiness, the sweetness about to overflow from her heart when she looked at Sang Wansi. She reached out and tapped Sang Wansi's nose lovingly, "Sweet talker." Then she lowered her head and looked at the photo. In any photo of her taken by Sang Wansi, she was always smiling. Her lips were always turned up unconsciously when seeing the person she liked. Her eyes were happy and gentle, looking at the camera but also at the person behind the camera. What made her happy was not the proposal, but who was proposing. She was naturally optimistic and romantic, easily satisfied. She did not need a grand, romantic ceremony. As long as it was the person she liked, even if she had been proposed to after dinner with a ring, she would be touched and remember it forever. So this was good. As long as it was Sang Wansi. The expression on her face grew gentler as she propped up her face unconsciously. Although she was looking at a photo of herself, but all she was thinking of was Sang Wansi. She must have saved the world in her previous life to be able to meet such a beautiful and cute girlfriend. Oh, no, 2 lifetimes ago. Looks good. She was talking about the engagement ring that Sang Wansi had chosen. My baby's taste is really good, even the ring is so nice. Then, she spread out her fingers again and looked at the ring lovingly. Seeing her like it, Sang Wansi's heart was happy too. She held Lu Jiwei's other hand and said gently, "I have good taste, that is why I like big sister." "Your mouth's too sweet," Lu Jiwei laughed and repeated, then leaned forward to kiss her. After tasting for a while, she finally said, "It is really sweet." In her heart, her girlfriend is the world's sweetest treasure. So sweet and good, and so pretty and cute, how could anybody not love her? Sang Wansi looked at her and smiled. They smiled at each other, just spending the time like this was also sweet. The air around them seemed to almost have been infected by their love, with a honey-like sweetness. After sitting for a while, Lu Jiwei gently rubbed Sang Wansi's fingertips and reminded, "It is late, we should go bathe." Sang Wansi nodded. Before bathing, she specially posted the photo of Lu Jiwei with her engagement ring to her Moments on WeChat, enabling only a selected group to see it. Those who should see it would be able to. It was basically all the trustworthy people who were on good terms with her. When she exited the bathroom with Lu Jiwei, there was already a red notification dot on her Moments. She leaned against the headboard of the bed and covered her legs with the blanket, holding onto the phone. After a moment, Lu Jiwei came in and placed a glass of warm water on the bedside table, solemnly putting on her engagement ring again. Seeing it, Sang Wansi pulled aside the blanket and patted the space next to her. The next second, a human-shaped bolster appeared in her arms. Lu Jiwei leaned against her and watched as Sang Wansi pulled the blanket over her, enjoying the feeling of her girlfriend taking care of her. She glanced casually at Sang Wansi's phone. "What are you looking at?" "Sang Wansi, my Moments." Lu Jiwei understood, looking away. Sang Wansi, does Jiwei want to see it too? Lu Jiwei, Sang Wansi chuckled, I posted the photo we just took, I'm looking at the replies. The photo of me wearing the ring. Lu Jiwei immediately was interested, turning to look at Sang Wansi's phone excitedly. She also wanted to see everybody's reaction. Only to see a list of comments appear on the screen. Teacher, my niece's taste has always been great. Approve. Sister Zhang, so that is what you bought the ring for, congratulations on a successful proposal. Approve. Xiao Qiu, congratulations on a successful proposal. Shi Jiao, awesome. Wishing elder sister and sister-in-law eternal bliss. Support. Ying Xize, I am prepared to give money to the two of you. Doghead. Dad liked the post. There were even traces of director Guo Hui and scriptwriter Wen Chuang. Director Guo, haha, really compatible, I am waiting for your wedding banquet. Scriptwriter Wen Chuang, wow, congrats. Small question marks, big confusion. They had worked with Wen Chuang twice, and they were familiar with each other's personalities. Wen Chuang was a curious person, she definitely must be very curious about when they got together. Lu Jiwei smiled and unlocked her phone, telling Wen Yao about the proposal. She did not see Wen Chuang's text, noticing Lu Shijiao's message first. Jiao, sis, Sister Wansi really proposed to you. Jiao, that is great. Super awesome. Congrats. Jiao, I am waiting for the wedding banquet, I want to be a bridesmaid. Let Ying Xize be a groomsman. Jiao, oh, no, there is no groomsman needed, then let him stay below and take photos of us. Jpg. Even through the screen, Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi could feel her excitement and happiness. Lu Jiwei could not help but laugh, it was just a proposal, they hadn't even confirmed the wedding yet, this child was getting so excited already. It really was the usual fuss. They did not expect that after Lu Shijiao's fussing, Ying Xize came along too. He sent all the congratulatory messages and emojis, in contrast to Lu Shijiao. But Lu Jiwei and Sang Wansi were both happy. It was one of life's happy moments, to have people supporting you, to have people genuinely wish for your happiness. Lu Jiwei looked at the ring on her finger again, her eyes filled with bliss. It is so nice, she said, I want to wear it to sleep. Even if God himself came down today, he wouldn't be able to make her take off the ring. Forget about tomorrow, the day after and the day after that too. From today onwards, she would live and die with this ring. Since she liked it so much, Sang Wansi naturally had no objections. She hugged Lu Jiwei, savoring each second quietly as she asked, where is Jiwei working at tomorrow? What time will you be back? At Yuhai City, I have an offline event for an endorsement. She looked at her phone and lifted her hand, stroking Sang Wansi's head as if she was smoothing down the hair. I should be back around 6 p.m. She had work tomorrow, but Sang Wansi did not, so she would wait for Lu Jiwei at home. Lu Jiwei lifted her head, kissing Sang Wansi's jaw. How about it? What does our teacher Sang want to eat for dinner? With regards to a difficult question like what do you want for dinner, Sang Wansi had not decided yet. She slid down lower, laying side by side with Lu Jiwei on the same eye level. She stroked Lu Jiwei's hair as she said, I will pick you up tomorrow, and we will go to the supermarket and think about it as we browse, okay? Lu Jiwei smiled sweetly, caressing her cheek, okay, whatever my girlfriend says. It is not girlfriend anymore, Sang Wansi held her hand, her eyes shining. She looked at Lu Jiwei and used the most teasing, most moving tone to say, it is fiancé. Liu Jiwei couldn't help but wow, putting down her phone as she turned and used a fingertip to touch Sang Wanxi's red lip and asked, "Why is our teacher Sang's voice so nice? Why is it that no matter what you say, you can make someone so moved? Wanxia, what kind of deity are you? I would not be breaking any heavenly rules to make God angry by dating you, would I?" Her tone was exaggerated, making Sang Wanxi smile unconsciously. Sang Wanxi picked up her phone and said seriously, "You will not, God just liked the post." Then she put down the phone and snugged into her neck, hugging Liu Jiwei's waist. "He agrees to this marriage as well." Liu Jiwei smiled and hugged her. With her around, Liu Jiwei was the most blissful person in the world. After a while, she lightly held Sang Wanxi's face and asked gently, "Wanxi, let us go public with it, okay?" After dating for so many years, they finally had a good ending, and it was also time to share this joy with their fans. Now, Liu Jiwei was enough to be a good match with Sang Wanxi. Sang Wanxi supported her head and leaned on her elbows, staring into Liu Jiwei's tender eyes. After a moment, she leaned down and kissed her eyebrows. "Okay." Walking hand in hand until this day, they had long since formed a tacit understanding. Posting the photo on her moments was her tacit approval. She knew Liu Jiwei agreeing to her proposal meant she was thinking about going public, so she informed all her good friends first on her moments to prepare them, and also prepare Zhang Xianrui. After all, an artiste going public with their wedding plans was a big thing to the company. When Zhang Xianrui had finished preparing, they would be able to reveal it to their fans soon. Liu Jiwei smiled radiantly, both her arms wrapped around Sang Wanxi's neck. Sang Wanxi kissed her gently. Her kiss was as gentle as a spring breeze, landing lightly on the side of Liu Jiwei's neck, under her ear and between her eyebrows. Desire blossomed with every kiss, burning like a fire that was causing their hearts to itch. Liu Jiwei's eyes were filled with blurry desire as she hooked Sang Wanxi's neck, straightforwardly expressing her desire. She did not know how to resist Sang Wanxi, she only wanted to offer herself up and fill Sang Wanxi's heart. Sang Wanxi's white fingertips gently parted Liu Jiwei's hair, then landed on her soft, red lips, then her slender neck, then her distinct collarbones. She was like the goddess hidden in the spring mist, with the lifting and falling of her fingertips inducing an endless desire that nobody could escape. Liu Jiwei's heart quivered as she unconsciously leaned towards Sang Wanxi's lips. Just as their lips touched, the phone rang. Someone had sent a text. The magical atmosphere froze for a second thanks to this untimely message. Liu Jiwei pulled her phone over, preparing to see who was disturbing. Then, she realized it was the male celebrity who would be attending the event with her tomorrow. His name was Zhang Xing, a junior in the industry. Zhang Xing had been friendly in his WeChat message, expressing how excited he was to work with her tomorrow, and even praised how good the movie was. Such an obedient portrayal of a junior, it was hard to pick fault with it. The only thing he did wrong was to interrupt his senior's warm atmosphere with her fiancé. But she did not say anything, politely replying, "I am looking forward to, see you tomorrow." Sang Wanxi casually asked, "Who is it?" Liu Jiwei answered, "The actor who is attending the event with me tomorrow, he's called Zhang Xing." Sang Wanxi raised an eyebrow lightly, "Sending you a message at this time, what did he say?" Liu Jiwei handed the phone to her. Sang Wanxi lay by her side, calmly looking at their conversation history. They had added each other as friends last month, and there was a decent amount of messages, but most of it was Zhang Xing looking for Liu Jiwei, while Liu Jiwei would only politely reply one or two sentences. The contents were mostly about Zhang Xing asking about acting, or he would be weighing food or activities to Liu Jiwei. It looked harmless, but Sang Wansi still vaguely felt a subtle aura. A love rival. Liu Jiwei saw her stern expression and moved closer, asking curiously, "What is it? Is there something wrong?" Sang Wansi looked at her, then at the conversation, putting down the phone and asking, "Jiwei, don't you feel like he likes you?" Liu Jiwei exclaimed in surprise, "Ah, he likes me." Sang Wansi. Indeed, her Jiwei wasn't very clever. Because her Jiwei was never able to determine who liked her, like Jin Manwen for example, or her even before that. Liu Jiwei was dumbfounded. Zhang Xing liked her. He didn't just want to be friends with her. She thought he was just a junior trying to be friends and asking for acting advice. In this matter, she believed in Sang Wansi's instincts. She did not know why either, but Sang Wansi was always able to immediately determine who liked her. Why could not she do it? Could this be a love rival radar? He really likes me? Liu Jiwei asked in disbelief. Maybe. Sang Wansi put down the phone and hugged the dazed person. But no matter what, you already have a wife, you cannot run. Wife. Liu Jiwei's expression slowly lightened. That's right, she is now someone with a wife, nobody can snatch her away. She pulled on Sang Wansi's collar lightly, her fingers naughtily slipping inside. Shall we continue, wife? Hearing that word, Sang Wansi paused, then got up and pressed Liu Jiwei under her. Whatever big sister wants. Do not leave any visible marks in obvious places. Liu Jiwei looked at the person on top of her and raised her one request, I still have to wear a gown tomorrow. I got it. Sang Wansi leaned down and kissed her. Just as their lips touched, it was Wen Shuang's turn to come and ask for the story. The two of them. They decided to reply tomorrow. This was more important. Yuhai City. Liu Jiwei finished getting her makeup done, walking into the changing room as she held the gown that Wen Yao had brought over. She closed the door and took off her clothes. With her skin exposed to the air, she suddenly saw a fresh, red mark on her waist, like a red plum blossom blooming in the middle of a snowy winter day. At that moment, she suddenly recalled what happened last night, recalled what Sang Wansi had done while holding her waist down. It was embarrassing. So she stood in the empty changing room for a while, alone with her reddened face. This child really did not leave any visible marks in obvious places. Luckily this gown did not expose her waist. After changing into the pretty and elegant gown, Liu Jiwei waited for her redness to subside before walking out of the changing room. Wen Yao saw her engagement ring and asked, "Ji, are you wearing it on stage?" Liu Jiwei looked down and stroked the ring, asking, "Why, is the sponsor not letting me?" When she had attended events before, she had worn their couple bracelet and the brand didn't say anything. Besides, the brand did not have any rules on her hair and accessories, they would not refuse to let her wear a ring, right? Wen Yao replied, "No, that is not it. I was thinking that you will definitely be photographed with it if you wear it on stage, then there will be a lot of people discussing it. You two have not gone public yet, right? I am afraid they will start gossiping and cause negative press for you too." Liu Jiwei smiled slightly and patted her shoulder, "Do not worry about it, we will be announcing it soon." Because they were going to announce it soon, that's why she dared to be so open about it. They were already fiancés, why did they need to skulk around in the shadows? It is time to be a bit more daring. Hearing that, Wen Yao was relieved. It was fine for them to announce it whenever, as long as they told the companies about it beforehand so they could prepare. Everybody was free to date, they did not have much to say. Just congratulate them, as long as the boss was happy. Ah, right, Liu Jiwei said, Xiao Yao, Wen, you two can go back once we are done with work, you do not have to wait for me, Wan Si will pick me up. Wen nodded obediently. Understood, Wen Yao flashed an okay, then teased, we cannot disturb our boss and our lady boss time alone. Liu Jiwei rubbed her head in amusement. What lady boss? Wen Yao smiled and helped Liu Jiwei put on her coat. It was a cold day and Liu Jiwei was not wearing much, she did not want her artiste to catch a cold. When Liu Jiwei arrived at the entrance to the event venue, the first person she bumped into was Zhang Xing. Zhang Xing had sword-like eyebrows and sparkling eyes, he had a clean, youthful air about him, making it seem natural for him to call anybody big brother or big sister. He walked forward and obediently called, Sister Jiwei. At the same time, he raised his hand to hold her wrist and support her elbow. A casual action, but it made Liu Jiwei frown slightly. Although Zhang Xing looked like he was being a gentleman and supporting her because of her gown making movement inconvenient, but she felt like Zhang Xing was purposefully trying to have physical contact with her. Then, she thought about what Sang Wan Si had said yesterday, and her heart suddenly had a thorn in it, feeling uncomfortable. She used the excuse of taking her coat off to avoid physical contact, then said, Thank you. It was distant and polite. Zhang Xing stood there, watching her walk in with Wen Yao, then lowered his eyes to look at his own hand. He suddenly chuckled silently, encouraging himself internally. It's okay, love was not easy to come by in the first place, he just had to chase her slowly. The event successfully ended. Liu Jiwei, Wen, and Wen Yao went back to the hotel to change out of the gown, preparing to end work and head home. Before changing, Liu Jiwei gave Sang Wan Si a call to say she was done with work. Sang Wan Si said she'd leave home now to fetch her. Wen was extremely envious of how sweet they were. If God could also grant her a beauty like Sang Wan Si, she would become a lesbian on the spot. Wen Yao didn't even know how to feed her chicken soup this time, only able to pat her head to let her wake up and work hard, and not dream so much. Liu Jiwei said bye to them and picked up her bag, leaving. She was planning to wait for Sang Wan Si at the employee exit, and she started thinking about what to have for dinner. She was suddenly a bit lazy to cook, deciding to eat out instead. Unexpectedly, she bumped into Zhang Xing again when she was about to walk to the employee exit. He seemed like he was waiting for someone too. She suddenly felt awkward and was considering whether to switch to a different location when Zhang Xing noticed her and called out to her, Sister Jiwei, you are waiting for your ride here too. Liu Jiwei suddenly paused. She felt like she could not just keep avoiding it, this would not solve anything. If Zhang Xing really did like her, she had to clearly reject him. Besides, they had not known each other for a long time and they were not close, it wouldn't be very awkward to reject him. Thinking about it, she did not hide any longer, walking over, I am waiting for someone. Zhang Xing replied with an "oh." Then, the air quietened. They each stood on one side, as if there was an invisible barrier in the middle. Liu Jiwei saw that he did not have any intention of striking up a conversation, and thought that he did not have that kind of thought, sighing in relief internally. Truthfully speaking, rejecting someone was not easy. Then, she suddenly heard Zhang Xing ask lightly, Sister Jiwei, do you have a boyfriend? Liu Jiwei. Sang Wan Si's radar was forever worth trusting. She said earnestly, I do not have a boyfriend. Zhang Xing's face showed his joy. Liu Jiwei continued, but I have a wife. Zhang Xing. Liu Jiwei looked serious, I am not lying, I really have a fiancé. She did not forget to show off her ring, look, this is our engagement ring. Jiang Xing. I asked if you have a boyfriend, but you are telling me you have a wife. He did not want to believe it, but Liu Jiwei looked so serious it was hard not to believe. He fell silent. With such a big shock, he took a while to calm down, then said, Sister Jiwei, you do not have to come up with such a story just to reject me. How could he have so coincidentally fallen for a lesbian, and what wife? He had never even heard she had a girlfriend. How could it suddenly get elevated to a wife? The ring could just be an accessory? Yes. It was fake, it had to be fake. Seeing him not believe it, Liu Jiwei got even more serious. I really have a wife, she will come pick me up in a bit. Jiang Xing. She is even coming to pick you up, then all the more I have to see who it is. Do not lie to me, Sister Jiwei, he stood determinedly, I will not give up unless I see them. There were too many excuses used nowadays when rejecting someone. There were people who lied they were gay too. So unless he saw Liu Jiwei's wife, he would not leave. He had finally liked someone, how could he retreat so easily? He still had not had time to show Liu Jiwei his personality and charm. Liu Jiwei only knew today that Jiang Xing was someone who would not give up until the end. Then she had no choice, she could only teach him a lesson. After a few minutes, a black sports car slowly stopped at the entrance. Jiang Xing glanced at it, it was not his. But Liu Jiwei moved. My wife is here, Liu Jiwei said, I will make a move first. Jiang Xing paused. When Liu Jiwei opened the front passenger door, Sang Wansi coincidentally made eye contact with him. A casual glance, but it caused him an entire year's worth of shock. Your wife is actually Sang Wansi. The scenery outside the car kept moving. Inside the car, Liu Jiwei told Sang Wansi, Wansi, you were right, he did like me, so let us announce it tonight. She had just told Jiang Xing anyway. She was already someone with a fiancé, she wanted other people outside to leave her alone. And leave her fiancé alone too. Sang Wansi naturally had no objections. She had wanted to openly be with her fiancé for a very long time. The two of them discussed it and decided where to eat dinner at the same time. When they entered the private room and ordered their dishes, Liu Jiwei prepared to go on Weibo and post a moving, heartfelt post. 2 minutes later. At Liu Jiwei v. Wife at Sang Wansi v. Cute. In the end, more than half the fans commenting below were asking if she was just continuing to promote their CP, with a lot of people suspecting it was fake. At despicable full attendance, wow, is there been this sort of after-sale service? Give me more. At green grass ointment is the best, with you, although I know it's fake, but my CP called the other person wife, I am so satisfied. No, I have screenshot this post. At this is a search engine. How much money did this production crew give you to make you do this? I will pay double. At youth, come out. Doghead, I can do it too, wife at Sang Wansi v. At you seem like a melon, I do not care, Wei Shi Buletin Wan is real. Seeing all these comments, Liu Jiwei. You guys are all focusing on the wrong thing. Seeing it, Sang Wansi calmly went online. At Sang Wansi IV, my marriage proposal yesterday was successful, thank you all for your care and concern. At Liu Jiwei v Heart. The accompanying photo was the one she took yesterday of the ring. Immediately, everything changed. The sand sculpture netizens immediately received a year's worth of shock. I thought you guys were just business CPS, it turns out you were real at eye-catching person, fuck, I am done. At you're pretty wild, it's real, it is real, the beauties are real. At my tears are worthless, I cannot speak, wishing these two beauties happiness. Support. At the first rainfall, woo everybody ship. At muddling along, I am going to use my weak voice to shout out one last sentence Wei Shi Buletin Wan is real. Sangwon Clu Jiwei announces their relationship also shot up to the number 1 hot search ranking as a result. Then, the servers crashed. After solving this, Lu Jiwei and Sangwon Si calmly put away their phones. Lu Jiwei took a piece of broccoli for Sangwon Si, smiling sweetly. Let us eat, wife.